how John Krasinski and Emily Blunt created a marriage that makes us all a little envious. He says she's beyond out of his league, but she knew from immediately that he was the one for her. Discover why Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, who have been married for 13 years, feel extremely fortunate. Emily Blunt would absolutely go back in time and alter her wedding day if she could. Not the bit where she promised John Krasinski that she would stay with him forever, of course, just a tiny choice she made before that July 10th day. She admitted, "I got a bad spray tan, and I would probably change that," when she appeared on The Late Late Show with James Corden in March 2020. "When I look at the photos, I see that the skin tone is not naturally orange." Having flown their guests, which included Meryl Streep, Jimmy Kimmel, and Matt Damon, to George Clooney's opulent Italian estate, she still finds it amazing that she chose to go low budget for her wedding gown. "It was a do-it-yourself project. Why was my wedding day budget conscious? Why?" she wailed. "It has some patches. It's awful. It was also a really hot day, so wear white if you perspire and have spray tan lines. Orange just soaking through. It was very bad." However, if rain on your wedding day is auspicious, then navigating rivers of fake tanner might be as profitable as hitting the lottery. Because that's exactly what the Golden Globe-winning actor and The Office veteran did 13 years ago on the shores of Lake Como. The 40-year-old Brit manages to convincingly play a variety of characters, including a mischievous binge drinker, a magical super nanny, and a cool fashion assistant, without disclosing too much about her personal life. However, it would be nearly impossible to hide how much of a good thing she has going with the 43-year-old Newton, Massachusetts native. It's clear to see that they both think they're getting the better end of the bargain in their relationship if you watch them together on the red carpet, or on a date night on Broadway. That is, unless you ask Amy Schumer, whose joke about the cast members of A Quiet Place 2 getting married in a pretend marriage for publicity was so ridiculously real that there was only one possible answer. For as far as Blunt is concerned, their first meeting almost 15 years ago was truly seismic. "Meeting John truly transformed my life," she said in a 2013 cover story for InStyle. "I feel unstoppable when I sense his support for me. On your good days, there's someone behind you, and on your bad days, there's someone in front of you." Krasinski is equally confident that he's discovered the Pam for his gym. During a recent News segment, he made the statement, "I think she's the hero at home for sure," in order to promote the 4th and final season of his Amazon political action drama Jack Ryan. "I couldn't have done this show without her support, not just with the practical aspects of having to continuously travel the world, but also with providing support and ensuring my children didn't leave me when I had to go to various locations and film." He told the Daily Beast in 2016 that she's one of the coolest people, she's so talented, she's beautiful, and she's definitely out of my league, in addition to being the one to take points at their Brooklyn home. When you're lucky enough to meet your one person, then life takes a turn for the best. The actor, writer, and producer, who is still best known for playing the GIF-worthy Everyman Jim Halpert in Dunder Mifflin, started to have good luck in 2008 when he happened to be in the same Los Angeles location as the scene stealer from The Devil Wears Prada. "It's a cheesy, depressing story. He was in the restaurant, and I was there too." In an appearance on Late Night with Seth Meyers in 2018, she said, "I was sitting with a mutual friend. This is our comedy about romance. It's here. It needs to be written by someone." Joking aside, if Justin Theroux could bring back his performance, we'd definitely watch it on Netflix. That's who Krasinski saw Blunt sitting across from their mutual friend when he caught them both out to dinner. "He left Justin and came to us," Blunt remembered, expressing how utterly enthralled she was with the 6'3" celebrity. "All he did was stand there and chuckle. Kind of immediately, I knew." Which, to Krasinski's credit, is hard same. He was all in before he'd even gotten to the table, having viewed her 2006 Roman a Clef about 72 times, give or take. He recalled the incident on the Ellen DeGeneres show, saying, "It was one of those things where I wasn't really looking for a relationship and I was thinking I'm going to take my time in La. When I finally met her, I was apprehensive. I thought, oh my God, I think I'm going to fall in love with her. I told her I liked her as I shook her hand." Because he can still clearly recall that time, Krasinski is convinced that he initiated contact. When asked who suggested that first date, Blunt said, "I think it was me," to The Hollywood Reporter in December 2018. "No," in response, "it was me asking for a while and you took some time, and then we finally had a date." He told Conan O'Brien, "I think that I was so sure that I would never end up with her ... that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna blow it right away and then that way you don't feel bad," and heaps of mutual respect. Those early outings included pizza at his West Hollywood pad. Even though Blunt was not a fan of the American version of The Office, he was completely engrossed in his role in Away We Go. He, on the other hand, was just fixated. Every time he thought he had grasped the entirety of her abilities, he was thrown off balance once more, much as the first time he heard her sing during Into the Woods recording sessions in 2014. He admitted to crying right away to Vanity Fair in 2018. It was quite crazy. It was like to learning that your spouse is able to float. And then there was that one time he went to see Mary Poppins Returns early and was hurriedly going through the muffin and bagel trays looking for napkins to wipe away his tears. I thought to myself, I need anything to stop crying. I was crying uncontrollably. In 20 minutes, I consumed the entire Kleenex box. To Ellen DeGeneres, he said, I needed to get some napkins, and when I ran out, everything was sweater. Just a lot of oh, it's so beautiful. While wiping my eyes, even after dozens of performances, he's still in awe. He told Vanity Fair, when she starts doing what she does, the air changes in the room. It's incredibly powerful, pure, and honest. It resembles a superpower that she only needs to activate. Their shared existence is navigated with such amazement that it transcends the screen. In 2019, he said to E! News, I gotta say it just sort of happens organically, describing how they managed to juggle two really successful businesses with everything else. It's one of those situations where I was a big fan of hers before we even met, and I still am for anything that she does. We therefore understand that traveling and doing certain things is part of the business, and that's why we're so supportive, but the most important thing is always returning home to be with your loved ones. According to Blunt, their move from their single days to a shared existence and house was quite easy. Gradually more and more of my stuff just accumulated at his house, she wrote to Harper's Bazaar UK. Last year, despite having recently acquired a London property that she had intended to move into with her sister before moving in with Krasinski. And then suddenly I was living in she said. About a year into their romance, Krasinski proposed to her in their shared city, gifting her a 3-carat antique cut diamond ring along with the pledge of eternal love. He told Access Hollywood, it was very casual. After the 2009 Emmys, she did weep after I did, and then we both started crying, and everyone else started crying too. People started crying because we were crying, even though I don't think they truly understood what was going on. However, it was fantastic. Ultimately, she said yes, which is fantastic. It plays a significant role in everything. By July of the subsequent year, they were exchanging marriage vows at Clooney's 18th Century Mansion, with Krasinski's director of Leatherheads insisting on providing the location. The actor told Elle, George said, I have this place and you should feel free to use it. I just agreed to the 4th request, since I didn't think he was serious the first 3 times. However, I could see his sentiments were being damaged. I genuinely offended George Clooney. After being happily married for almost 4 years, the couple decided to take on the challenging task of raising a child. They moved to a Brooklyn townhouse, approximately 3,000 miles away from Hollywood, where they thought they had the best chance at a normal life, and welcomed their first daughter, Hazel, in February 2014 and her younger sister, Violet, 28 months later. Naturally, elementary school students are aware of what a movie star is. Therefore, Blunt remembered in an interview with the Sunday Times, and she goes, Are you famous? After Hazel returned home from school despite their best efforts, Blunt and Krasinski made the conscious decision not to use the F word themselves, thus it was a first for them. It had been stated clearly by someone at school, she went on. Not really, I don't think I am, I said. Hayes, did someone say that to you? Yes, she said, but she wouldn't say much more after that. It's strange. It's peculiar, she said. I don't want my kids to feel any more important or special or that there's a glare on them any more than other kids, rather than that she gives a damn about her status in the profession. I'd be happy if they can stay unaware for as long as possible. They're not even interested in seeing my work. This, to be honest, makes them really special. The much-anticipated A Quiet Place 2, the sequel to their 2018 thriller, made approximately $58.5 million during Memorial Day weekend in 2021, captivating audiences with Krasinski's vision once more. Blunt signed back on as soon as she saw her husband's writing, without hesitation. Despite her guiding principle in her work to never bring their love to the big screen, she was forced to breach it once more. Prior to the first movie, which marked his directorial debut, Krasinski first gave up on his idea to ask her to play the character he had written specifically for her and instead took her recommendations. I didn't want her to think of this as her one job. He told The Hollywood Reporter, listen, I don't know if I love this, but I love you, so I'll do it. Then, in between late nights with then newborn Violet, she read his script while they flew cross-country. It was about a set of new parents raising their family in complete silence to protect them from monsters that hunt by sound. She recounted, I went kind of gray to the outlet. I couldn't imagine the thought of letting someone else play the part, so she inquired with her husband about its status. It was like she was proposing to me, he stated. It was among the best experiences of my professional life. Yes, I exclaimed. We didn't emergency land in San Antonio, which shocked me. His excitement was well-founded. Following a $50 million opening weekend, the film grossed $341 million worldwide and received positive reviews from critics and their adopted New York City neighborhood. She was nominated for a Supporting Actress SAG Award, while he won the Critics' Choice Movie Award trophy for Best Sci-Fi. horror film. Not long after the April 2018 opening, he told Men's Health that a garbage truck rips around the corner, screeches up to these cans, and the guy jumps off the back. During the middle of the Monday morning school drop-off, grabbing a trash can, he heads to the back of the truck and says, "I saw it on Sunday." King fantastic, says it without looking at you, then kicks the can and moves on. Turning to face me, Emily gave me a high five. "That's the coolest review you're going to get," she said. Her recognition arrived about 9 months later, and she made sure we all knew how fortunate she felt as she stood on the Screen Actors Guild Awards stage, clutching her brand new trophy. "I am going to share this completely with my husband, John Krasinski, because the entire experience of doing this with you has completely pierced my heart directly," she stated while weeping with pride. "You are an incredible director. Being with you and working on this movie with you has been such a blessing. I appreciate you giving me the role. If you hadn't, you would have been in serious danger." In the years since, they have each achieved their fair share of individual career victories. While his Amazon spy drama Jack Ryan is concluding this summer, her performance as Mary Poppins proved to be as bit as lovely as the Disney original, earning her nods for both the SAG and Golden Globes, not to mention his insanely successful web series Some Good News, which helped all of us get through the first few confusing and terrifying weeks of being a stay-at-home parent and landed him a contract with CBS. Nevertheless, they are well aware that even with the sequel, their Quiet Place success is a lightning-in-a-bottle moment. "I know I'll never do another movie that's this successful, this original, this underdog, why, and then on top of it have it be with my wife every step of the way," he told Men's Health. "I told Emily that experiencing my biggest job accomplishment and not having to explain the feeling to her was the greatest gift the universe could have given me. In the boat with us was also, I don't know if it can ever be like this again," I told her. Like most things she does, her response astounded him. And, again, leave it to Emily, who is better at everything than me. She goes, "It can't," he said. "She just captured it so beautifully. This can't and shouldn't happen again. So take this really special gem that we experienced together and place it on a mantle. And now leave to engage in another activity." She'll be the one encouraging him if that next endeavor doesn't work out, but more often than not, she'll be watching from the sidelines. He'll always have his biggest supporter by his side, no matter what happens, and from a distance, all of us will be watching with more than a little jealousy.